Alright, turns out we gotta start a second video because they only do 20 minutes at a time. So, I'm trying to remember what we just kind of rambled on while the video was not even recording. Let me double check that it is this time. That would be sad if we went 20 more minutes without realizing that it wasn't recording. We were talking about shutter speeds and making sure it's in focus. So, when I originally told you that I had a camera, I said, I have a camera. If you want to use it, I understand if you don't, because you're going to have to manually focus it.
Yeah.
And luckily we found the other lens, but you're going to have to manually focus it.
Yeah.
You can go buy yourself another lens for it.
I'll just...
Okay. Because they do have some cheap kit lenses. Probably find something on the local, KSL, where they sell old stuff. So, if you're doing those slow shutter speeds, you're going to have to know how to use this ISO button. 200 is its default point, and if you go up to 400, that means you can take a picture at a shutter speed twice as fast, or an aperture twice as small.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if I just took one that was 1/15 of a second, and I set it to 400 instead of 200, now I can take it at a 1/30 of a second. And I would say, just for your own sake, on this lens or this lens, probably try to shoot at above a 1/60th of a second. Okay? And if you're like way above a 1/60th of a second, feel free to mess with the aperture. But if you're way below, go all the way down.
Okay.
Even if it's a landscape, it's better to have it in focus. I mean, like, to not be shaky.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, so the newer the camera, the better the ISO. This is 5 years old. Or more, 6, 7 years old. So going up higher in ISO is even more sketchier.
Okay.
But it's still better than having a totally blurry picture.
Mm-hmm.
That it means that they'll be grainy. 200 will be fine, 400 will probably be fine, but above that you're starting to enter the danger zone. It will go to 800, which will mean from 1/15 of a second to 1/30th to a 1/60th, where you really wanted it, right?
Yeah.
Where I said that was a good range. So 800 should be around that 1/60th of a second, and it should be in focus, and you're gonna have to learn how to get into that zoom in thing fast, because it's kind of a pain in here. So you see some grain in there.
Yeah.
That's not out of focusness, that's just grain.
Okay.
And yeah, so but try to stick to 200, especially when it's daytime. You can actually go to 100, I think. And you actually might want to be in 100 when it's in the middle of the day. But you're going to be in a lot of dark locations.
Yeah.
Okay, recap real fast. You're sticking with aperture mode. That's the mode.
Mm-hmm.
If you look on the back of the screen, first of all, if you know it's going to be a dark thing that you're shooting, you can just go down dark here.
Yeah.
But if you look at the back of the screen and you go, oh, it's too bright, go dark on here and shoot it again. Oh, it's too bright, go here and go to dark and shoot it again.
Okay.
So aperture, and then to change the ISO, but you don't have to mess with these manual focus or the focus settings here and here, or on the lenses, but you're going to have to do it here. And you're not going to have to worry about moving out the memory card. You don't have a flash. You can pop this up with this button and have a little built-in flash. And it'll be alright for people that are close by. There is a button next to it that'll do the same thing. If the flash is too bright, you can use the front thing and make it darker. So now I do that one again, and that flash is much darker.
Oh, okay.
Or the flash isn't quite as bright. So less intense of the flash. And you can see it's a huge difference on the... Just trust us. It's a huge difference. Okay, and reviewing pictures. You go side to side, get the information up and down, which you probably don't care about as much. Hit the delete button. The camera is going to read the lighting situation. And these three options, basically forget the whole spot meter option, or the center meter. Just do this spot meter or this one. This one will say, I'm taking a reading from everything in the picture. And this one
just the middle.
Just takes a reading from wherever that little small box is. And that small box is right in the middle right now.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you tap on this button. And when you're changing the aperture, you're going to have to tap the button to initiate this reading,
Yeah.
and then you can move the aperture around. And you're like, I can't move the aperture because you haven't tapped on the button yet. And let's see, if it looks really, you can never get it in focus, just that's the diopter. So,
Okay.
and in the, like, just wherever that box is, you can look on the very left-hand side when you're trying to focus, and you're moving this focus thing. It'll try to assist you to tell you if it's in focus. Actually, it doesn't look like it works with this lens.
Okay.
So don't, just trust your eyes instead. And it'll give you a menu in there with the aperture and the shutter speed and your ISO and how many pictures are left.
Okay.
Heck, you could probably do all 5,000 on this one memory card
Probably.
for the whole entire trip.
That's probably.
And you know, I'm lending you a camera. The camera is actually, luckily for you, is actually not worth that much. So if something were to happen, you're not out that much. The lens is worth as much as the camera. And this lens is worth almost nothing. Because it wasn't that much to begin with, and it doesn't do autofocus anymore, and it's not worth taking it to get fixed. The memory card is actually just like $60. This is like somewhere between $300 and $400, and this is $300 to $400 as well.
Okay.
And we got you a camera strap. Where is that at? Did we bring that in?
No.
Okay. Well, I got it out of the car. So I'd keep it around your neck, and if you're walking around, sometimes what I do is I just wrap my hand around it and I just walk like that. So people, Peru is actually kind of known for having these, especially in some of the highly populated touristy areas. So if you're just walking around like this Cusco in the square, just wrap it around your hand. I don't like having things around my neck, but I'm used to carrying a camera like this and I never drop it, so it's up to you. And so those camera straps are a pain to put on these little things, but you're a big boy, you figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, so camera care, watch out to not scratch the front element here. Really don't scratch the back element, that's really bad. Try not to change the lens too much for fear of getting too much dust inside of there. You hit this button and then you twist it. That's how you open it. And this line right here, or this dot right here, is what you line up with this dot right here.
Okay.
So you go, whoop, and then you twist it, and it's locked, and just double check it. And okay, so you're going to be in jungle, that's wet. So the camera does pretty decently in wet. These lenses, the cheaper the lens, the less that they're going to handle wet. So wrap it up, or something like that. Keep the lens. This would be the lens you do not want to use when it's wet. You're thinking, oh, I'll use the cheaper lens. Use the better quality lens when it's wet. It has less places where it can
Get moisture.
yeah, and you can just feel it. It feels more hardcore, you know. And maybe try to find or ask someone that has glasses and get some of those like microfiber cloths.
Yeah.
Just to keep it. If it's dusty and dirty like this, not a big deal. You're still gonna have fine pictures.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, it's dusty. Your pictures are gonna be ruined. That's not a big deal unless you're starting to go up to really high apertures. But you don't. Just trust me, it's not a big
Okay.
deal. So when you are in there's a lot of moisture, these will fog up a lot. When you go from really warm and out to cold, that's a problem. It'll fog up some, or from really warm out to cold. You know, with big temperature changes, the camera takes a while to adjust.
Okay.
So just know that. If it's like just continuously fogging up, just put it away in your pack. You're not taking pictures. I don't know what situation is there, but I know that you said it's a rainy season.
Yeah.
You can almost just put it in a couple Ziploc bags and to keep it dry. Don't have to worry about are you bringing a dry bag?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you might as well throw it in there. I don't know if you're going to take more than 5,000-6,000 pictures.
Probably not.
When my first time ever using a camera, and I went to Peru on my first trip with a camera, was to Peru. I was there for 8 or 9 days, and I took 3,000.
Okay.
I mean, nowadays, if I were there, I'd probably take maybe 6,000. How long are you gonna be there?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
But a lot of it's gonna be surfing.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going surfing for a
Yeah.
while?
Probably a week.
Okay.
Can I bring this while I surf?
Yeah. Watch out for the sand on the beach,
Okay.
especially with this lens.
In the water?
In the
Just
water?
kidding.
I was like, I don't mind getting some money.
Yeah.
If you want to give me some money and risk it, yeah. What was I gonna think? This will do all right. Just kind of keep these
Worry about
compartments. You don't really need that. You're gonna be gone 3 weeks. You may want another memory card. I'll let you figure that out yourself.
What I'm thinking of doing actually is bringing, because in Peru I'll have access to a computer. So I'm bringing a jump drive.
Okay.
Switch.
This is a 32,
Yeah.
so you may need a.
I have a
jump drive.
32 gig jump drive.
Okay, so that'll get you like
All my pictures
12,000.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 plus more. It's kind of scary, sketchy to not have them backed up, so you wanted to get another jump drive and have them in 2 different places. In that case, you want to get one of these micro USB cords, and they're probably for 100 devices that you have. You probably have one that works for that, and you could be able to plug that directly into the computer, unless they have a CF card reader. Keep it around your neck. Can also deter thieves. Keep it with you, I'd say a lot. If you're taking the buses, you've put a lot of stuff up top, but that's where they really get at, because I had that experience. But I had my camera stuff with me, so all they took was an empty bag with some clothes. And any other questions? What else on that phone did we?
So
Let me check the recording. Got 8 more minutes.
camera strings, buttons.
You learn all the buttons.
Yeah.
You learn that you're gonna put the
F-stop, shutter.
f-stop and the shutter.
Knowing lenses, traveling safely. Batteries, prepping them, charging them.
Okay, yeah, and it's a different power there, but I believe your charger works just fine, and it gave you a little adapter that works for Peru.
Some golden.
That was a really good buy. $40 for all that.
Changing lenses, camera care and security. Focusing review of pictures. What to look for in good pictures.
You can put the camera down on the ground like this. Just, don't like slam it on the ground.
Yeah.
Just kind of just place it. You're not worried about the bottom of the camera. You're worried about the lens. Yeah. Okay, what else?
I think that's it, and then dealing with the weather. But
Okay, lens cap. So, put it on one specific way, and then you put the lens cap on the back. I don't have the cover for this. And I do have the cover for this one. So you can put that on there. Alright. What else was on there? I'll keep this as FCF card.
that was it.
Package.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
You did? Perfect.
This should fit in here. Look, yeah, it does. Barely. No. How are you going to carry the other lens, too? You put it inside your... in between your clothes, and it should be fine. I'm not too worried about that.
Dang, that's a bummer.
Almost. This is the lens that's a little bit nicer, and you may want to use a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's just a little too long. The problem is, never mind.
It's your video.
Yeah.
Shucks.
So you can, well, now
I'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, figure it out. You can use this if you want. Someone just gave it to me, so it's not a big deal. More stuff in here. Put your cord in here as well. And that was really all we had in there, huh? That's trial by fire. You're gonna go and just start taking pictures. Take a bunch tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll play around with it for sure.
And remember to zoom in while you have good battery, just to make sure if you're getting in focus. This lens is, so know your lens, and this lens is best at above 2.
Okay.
2.8, would be good. and you're going to do a lot of landscapes, so 6, 8, 10, and you're going to want to do stuff like, oh, it's a great sunset. And that's the problem, you're like a sunset landscape, but there's not a lot of light. So find something to maybe put it on to get a little bit lower light. So you can, I have one of those gorilla pods. You can stop by and get one of those if you want.
Okay.
That's my story.
The thing that goes
Yeah. They're just little ones that they're just a little stand that you just like put onto a tree or something like that. But I don't know if you really need that or want that. Okay, and taking pictures, this is my mantra. This is what I say is good. So create attractions and avoid distractions. So look for things that are attractive and avoid distractions. Actually, that's what you want to focus on, is avoiding distractions. So avoiding just random things in the picture that don't add to the picture. Some random person walking in there that wasn't supposed to be in there. A piece of trash on the ground, you know, just, or like a telephone pole that just ruins your landscape. So avoid those things and keep an even horizon. And that's a whole long discussion.
Okay.
But that won't work in the next 3 minutes.
Alright, and thanks again.
So take a picture, show us how it goes, and I'll see if you have any questions real fast, since we got 3 minutes left.
Turn it on.
Yeah, turn on is good. Take the picture already. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a long. What was it on Aperture?
25? What?
That's the 25th of a second. It's the other number with an F in front of it.
8.
Yeah, so you have to go way down. Are you moving it?
No, it's not moving.
And right now it's at a 25th because you are aimed up right at those bright light bulbs. So obviously it's going to want to do a higher number than what it was when you did that click. It was like a half a second or a full second. So where are we at? So you just change right here with this button. Oops. Must be this one. So this one right here. You found it.
Let's try 2.
So F2, much faster, right?
Much faster.
But it's still, what was the shutter speed? When you looked through the little, there, what did it say?
6 F2 200.
200th of a second?
No, 200 is the aperture.
Okay, is the ISO.
ISO, yeah. 5.2. Yeah,
It was like 5, yeah. So it's 6. So a 1/6 of a second. So that's really slow. You want 10 times faster, which is 60th.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to go down further or change the ISO. Remember? So now you can get it to a 1/12 of a second by going to 400 ISO. That sounded a little bit faster.
Faster, we now have to do this.
Yeah. And instead of 2, even though I said 2 is where you want to be, you're going to have to go to 4 because you at least want to in focus, not shaky picture. That sounded fast.
No, we should focus
Oh yeah, you got to focus it too. So focus it and make sure the shutter speed is fast enough.
it. Still blurry, but
But you're not going to be inside taking too many, I don't suppose.
I wonder why it's not focusing. No.
It's up to you to focus.
It's like I can't get it any more focused. So if I turn it all the way back. Here.
Yeah.
That's as focused as I can get.
And you really won't have to focus too much when it's something is farther away than right here, 8, 10, does that say? 10 feet? If it's over 10 feet, everything will be in focus. Just set it to infinity.
So weird. Taking like this is really clear.
So, let's take some practice. But that's it, we're done with our 2 segments. 20 minutes each. Trial by fire. 40 minutes of learning.